Not quite.
Heyo, and we're live. That's a good way to start. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Always Almost There Evening After Show. I'm here in Glasgow, Scotland, in the United Kingdom. I saw Goose tonight.
Post birthday boy.
And it was fun. Post birthday.
Give us your best Scottish accent.
No.
Sometimes no is the best answer. Sometimes no is the best answer.
Yeah, that's what I got.
So this is show 8, night 13. So this is what Ryan looks like on night 13.
Thriving. Yeah. I shaved, so I look less decrepit.
He actually looks spry as fuck right now. I mean, I gotta say, after doing some offline chats, like you look like you drank a Gatorade and ate a biscuit or something.
You know what happened?
It's funny because it's night 13 and he looks 13. So.
Hey B.
Oh yeah. Well, no, we should do this. Happy birthday. We haven't done this on the podcast yet, so happy birthday, Ryan.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
We wouldn't be the first Goose entity that hasn't wished him a happy birthday. So
Yikes.
We're breaking new ground.
Yeah. Hot takes, God. 2 minutes in. Love it.
Oh boy. All right. This is already a mistake. I shouldn't have shown up.
Well, we're here for you, Ryan. So
thank you very much.
We're here to make sure it always feels like a mistake.
Thank you.
And yeah, I mean, honestly though, what a birthday treat to be in Europe and on tour and seeing your third favorite band.
hey,
Jesus.
Second.
Oh man!
Second favorite B. God, come on.
Be coming out the gate with the A material. He wrote jokes before the show tonight.
He was ready. Listen, this is what he does all day.
No,
he plays pickleball and he writes pod jokes. He's got like a sheet of paper, like he's got a sticky note on his laptop right now.
He's got a sticky note of zingers.
Yeah.
No, I think it's cute that you think I think about the pod.
You know you do. You literally have nothing else to think about. So,
all right. So
shall we dive into the show?
Well, no, we want to talk about vibes because you're on tour, and there are things happening in Glasgow.
And let's be honest here, like Neil's been sort of point man on these evening after show casts, so there's no reason to change it just because you're here.
Yeah, I agree. I'll second that.
Everybody shaved except for
Neil. Neil, go ahead.
Here we go.
You have the floor.
No thanks, Ryan, by all means. But no, please do tell us about the show.
Well, so tonight's venue, I believe this is the first show of the tour that wasn't sold out. It was at Barrowlands Art and Design, aka BAD with 2 A's, the second of which is lowercase. I would just like to say that 902 Vickers, wait, is Ryan in the bathroom or is Garrett in the bathroom? Ryan is in the living room and Garrett is in the kitchen. And I put in my headphones because Garrett is playing the pod out loud and I could hear the echo of my own voice.
Yeah, he mentioned there's a little delay there.
Yeah.
I'm not in Neil's guest closet. But so tonight's venue was BAD. Get it? Really cool space.
Yeah.
High ceilings. Probably the worst sound of tour so far, but that's just because of how the room was. It was pretty boomy. I was talking to Loomis at the end of the show. He said that the PA that they had tonight was like a specially made one where it like can be calibrated to the acoustics of the specific room, and so like only projected the sound so far, so it didn't get like it didn't like start bouncing off the back of the room or something, which is really cool and interesting. I would say, all things considered, based on the room, it sounded good. Aside from Peter being a little bit quiet, but I mean, it was great. Vibes were high. Of course, there were a lot of locals there tonight. A lot of European people. I'd like to shout out Mario or Mario. I don't want to mispronounce it. But
one way or another, you just did.
You just did.
Yeah. Exactly. One of those two is incorrect. But he is from Spain. He is a huge Goose fan, and he's out here for the whole UK run.
That's awesome.
His first show tonight. Yeah. He was so excited to be here. So that was really awesome to meet him and a few other people. We miracled an old Scottish guy at the bar before the show.
Nice.
which is funny. We like at one of the other places we were before the show. We met like a longtime Deadhead who didn't know Goose was in town. Friend of the pod, Lucas, had an extra ticket, gave it to him, and we ran into him after the show, and he had the best time. He loved it. So it's really cool to see all these locals, all these people experiencing their first show and just having a great time.
And all of you
really
guys
great.
spreading the vibes, like that's what it's all about. Like, just
Listen,
that's awesome.
There's no one spreading more vibes than Haps
Yeah.
out on this run. Obviously, we know he's the vibes guy, and he is wherever the vibes go.
He's the generator of the vibes.
Came to play while we're here. Came to play as an extra Manchester ticket. Shows tomorrow.
Contact Ryan, and he'll make the connect.
Hand it off to a local. Yep. I mean, that was the best part about the last pod with Garrett, when we heard the stories of people just going up and miracling locals. That is amazing. And it's amazing that it's catching on and that more and more people are doing it. I think that actually is the vibe that you want. Not telling people to not stand in front of the stage. Don't tell people to do that.
Right. Brian, you agree with that, right? You agree with Neil here?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're in a country where they don't normally have concerts and the people don't know what to do
at a concert,
you have to. As an American, you have to kind of step back.
As is the custom.
But here's the thing. Honestly, though, you know what? I think that's a really cool idea. Actually, I think a band like Goose, and maybe they can do this for the rest of the tour. I think a band like Goose, you've got all these hardcore fans doing the tour, that you kind of have at least a little bit of a relationship with. You know what I mean? Man, hold back some tickets. Hand them to Ryan or maybe to Haps and Garrett, and then be like, "Hey, here's 15 tickets.
The fucking street team, man. The street team
tonight. Spread these. Yeah, totally. Street team, Euro street team. Yeah, or whatever they call streets over there. But
yeah,
do something like that.
Yeah, avenues, cahiers, depending where you are.
Yeah, that would be cool. You know what I mean? That'd be a cool way to get.
You should be in charge. You should be in charge of Goose. Like, have we talked about this before?
You have good suggestions. You have very good suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for every couple good ones, then there's a really bad one. So,
hey, was there a show? Was there a show today?
Well, I don't know.
What? We're just here for fun.
Then we'll get to talk about it. I guess.
We're just having a good time. The venue was back to the venue. Talking about the venue. Again, like warehouse kind of vibe, like, high ceiling, brick, what have you. It was definitely a little bit chillier in there than we've seen the last bunch of shows. These small clubs have been getting very, very sweaty. And so tonight, you guys saw on the webcast, the band was wearing sweatshirts, toques, beanies for you American people who don't know what a toque is.
Is this pronounced toque? I never knew that. I've never heard that word pronounced.
What did you think it was? Talk?
It's a hat. It's a hat.
Phonetically, that would be pronounced toque.
I enjoy toque.
It's toque. But they were a little bundled up. Rick also playing PRS for part of the show again. Still not 100% happy with how the DeLuise has been sounding. So really interesting to see that again. But I'm ready to dive into the music.
Hey, Ryan, real quick, did he play? I wasn't able to watch. I was only able to listen, unfortunately. Did he play the PRS during the Lee?
No, the during the Lee, that was the DeLuise.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
We can't have drug deals going down in the comments. Just FYI.
Come on, this is a family pod, guys. Keep it clean.
This is a family pod.
I don't want to get pinched for something. You know what I mean?
Talking to me, Neil.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, let's dive into this show. We'll start off with the first, 4 songs here. Jive 1, Honeybee, Atlas Dogs, Jive Lee. Nice Jive sandwich. Jive 1 coming out of the gate, solid version as always. Great opener to the show. And then, Honeybee, no rain stick. And the last Honeybee to be noted with no rain stick was 11/16/21 in Oklahoma City. It's been a little while. I heard that the rain stick couldn't clear customs getting across the pond here. So
Yeah, that's a UK thing, for sure.
Only
there's
domestic.
too much rain
So,
already.
Only domestic rain
I
sticks allowed.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
I missed the beginning of Jive 1 because Nugs gave me a start time, and so I logged in
the band
at the
on before
start
that.
time. Yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna start complaining about this band.
They're starting too early now. Yeah.
Just started. This band just starts too
How
early.
dare they?
You know what I mean? Who does that?
Uh,
But
Goose, apparently.
so the Honeybee, so Big Gap, and I'm a fan. You know, by the way, I know we joke sometimes, but I'm a
25
fan
shows.
of. Yeah. 24 show Gap. I'm a fan of Honeybee, and I think they need to play it a little bit more often. And so I don't know what was it. So was there some guitar stuff that was happening like during the show, or is this just like intel that you have?
About Rick switching guitars?
Yeah, did that happen during the show?
Yeah, so I mean, he came out for set 2 and he put on the PRS.
Okay, so it wasn't until set 2.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
That I noticed. He
Yeah.
could have swapped earlier, but I didn't notice it until set 2, and I'm fairly certain he played the Dillouise for all of set 1.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you know, look, I like that song. I thought it was just a tad, you know, we'll call it unrehearsed. But
Been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Speaking of
so
rehearsal,
I'd like to see
you'll be
that come
happy to
back
know-
around.
You'll be happy to know, in addition to a cover that they played later in the set, they soundchecked Not Alone today, which I was very, very excited about. Sad to not see that during the show tonight, but that gives me hope. You know, it was on a set list a couple of shows ago. They soundchecked it today. Maybe it's coming.
Those are two good signs. That it's probably coming. So that's good. I mean, look, that's, you know, the fans want to hear that. You know what I mean?
The fans.
Yep. I've talked to a lot of
fans.
people.
Yeah.
Yep. And they want to hear it. But as long as I'm talking about Honeybee, so I'll just go straight to the Jive Lee because this is the business. Yeah, this is the business. Probably of the night. You know, there's some good jams tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From a jam perspective, good stuff tonight. You know, micro jams, big jams.
Macro jams.
You know, yeah. Can't complain. Some people complain about no jams, but that's you, Ryan. But it's
or type 1 jams.
Yeah, no, but this Jive Lee is really, really good. It's kind of nasty. I mean, they really get after it. You know what I mean? I feel like Rick especially. He's easy to pick out sometimes, but I feel like he especially just got after it. I mean,
I made a comment at the time, that
I was going to mention that
he was playing Jive Lee like he was angry at it, like
he's mad at it.
Like he's mad at it. Yeah, just a real aggressive sort of style.
Yeah, because Jive Lee was also on a pretty decent, coming off a pretty big rest.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think maybe
20 shows there. Last played in Spokane.
Yeah. So I don't think Rick liked that. I think Rick was saying, "Hey, look, if you're going to make me wait 20 shows, then I'm going to rip it for 20 minutes."
I'm going to spank this.
And this is, you know, not having seen the specific timing yet, but based on the ballpark that I have, you know, in the setlist thread that I was running, this is the longest Jive Lee ever, surpassing St. Louis 2022, which was 16 and a half minutes or so.
How long was this one, Ryan?
I believe it was 17
19.
and something. 19 you had.
Well, I got 19 from my set list, my go-to set list source.
Oh, and who's your go-to set list source?
That was you, right, Jive?
No. That was my boy Brad.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Yeah, because he marks the times. Thanks the band.
Yeah, Brett Solari's a great guy.
And that's on Mastodon.
He's doing a thankless job. He's tweeting out the set list to roughly a half dozen people.
To be and to chop.
Handfuls
and chop
of
was
people.
at the show. So it was literally just to be.
I
Handfuls
only
of
say that
people.
because I know Brad and I love him.
But
He's
to be
just done a
honest,
job over
well,
there.
let's be honest here. Like he's got better intel than Twitter does. So I mean, maybe that's something to consider, something to look into. I don't know.
It's true.
Interesting.
The guy on Twitter
Yeah.
keeps forgetting to thank the band. So,
Um,
what a dick.
Well,
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
well, so hey, I'd like to talk about this elite.
Tell
Right.
us what
You want to talk
doing.
about how you're not doing the set list thread? Oh no.
Oh,
sorry.
Jesus.
Well, hey, some of us have jobs and we're not,
Yes.
on night 13 of tour.
And those of us that do have jobs are definitely not letting any of this impinge on our jobs.
Yeah.
Again, just to point that
If
out.
if any of you can hear someone banging on a window,
No.
Haps is currently banging on the
Yeah.
window.
Oh.
He's like a dog who's been let out.
Let me in.
Yeah.
It's cold out here.
Oh,
There he
man.
goes. Oh
Is
God.
he scratching?
Just tapping on the window.
Visual
We'll
is
probably see him in a
actually killing
minute.
me.
But where were we? We're talking about this.
We were
this
talking
Lee
about
stuff?
this
Lee.
giant Lee.
Yeah.
There is so much dragonfly in this Lee.
Vibes.
It was like the whole band
Elements
was
of
playing.
Dragonfly?
The whole band is playing Dragonfly, and Rick is just like setting his fucking guitar on fire.
Yeah, and poor Daniel couldn't be on the pod today because his head exploded. So much dragonfly
There were
vibes.
too many dragonfly vibes.
Yeah, he just couldn't handle it. Like
It
was
contained too many elements of dragonfly.
Yeah.
It just
So other things that I want to say about this
Yes.
is Peter plays almost no clav, just a tiny amount of clav.
I don't want to
for
talk about it.
15 seconds in this lead, which is remarkable, right? How often does that happen? Can you
Not
recall
Far too often,
time?
actually.
in a lead that Peter plays no clav at all?
Yeah, it's far too often given that it happens at all.
Oh,
There should always be,
I get
too
the
much
joke.
class.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
That's good. He's mixing it up. You know what I mean? Keeping it fresh.
Well, like, they made an
Absolutely.
excellent version, right?
Yeah.
He leaned heavily into the piano. There was some organ later on. He did kind of touch the clav for about 15 seconds, and he was like,
Yeah.
not my vibe. And
Keep in mind that
was
we talk
when
about when we talk about Jive Lee on the pod, it is 100% jam. There is nothing in there that is song, right? So it's 17 minutes long and it's 17 minutes of jam, right? That's the equivalent to 21, 22 minutes of most other songs. We got Haps in the building.
What's up?
Vibes are high.
The vibes are hot. Oh,
Thank
big
you,
spoon, the little spoon. I love it.
Jive, dude, looking sharp.
Yeah.
I know, right? He is looking sharp, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guest appearance. I love it.
All right, see you there. But yeah, anyway, that's my take on Lee there. Sorry, Neil, I kind of interrupted you mid sentence.
No, good. It's all good. I don't recall what I was going to say about this Lee, other than it's a different version. Some might say it's different than any other Lee ever, Kevin. But I don't know if it is that different, but it's really, really good. I enjoyed this. I only actually got to listen to it because some of us, now that they're in the UK, we can't really listen to this band at work. We're like listening to it at commute time.
It's getting
there's
better
like-
for me, Neil. Speak for yourself.
Getting worse for me.
No, Kev's not listening to it at work. What are you saying? Kev has
Yeah.
never listened to Goose
No,
on company time.
I would never.
Yeah.
Fidelity. I would never. I don't. So there's nothing to
Never.
talk about. Go ahead, Neil. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. I'm done talking about Lee. I think we should move on.
Little flow down jam.
Well, flow down jam there, right?
Yeah.
It was like
I
a
didn't
little
catch
flow
that
down,
tonight.
a little flow down intro jam there.
Flow down vibes.
Flow down vibe.
contained elements of
Studio flow down vibes.
So it contained elements of both Dragonfly and Flowdown. I
Oh,
should
and
note that.
Kevin, I don't know, Kevin, did you want to say anything about the dogs?
The dogs, Atlas dogs, them dogs. No, I'm good.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
The two of you.
So I'm going to pick this up where Ryan left off. We
Well,
get the best
pick it
cover in
up.
Goose's catalog. Howard Johnson's
Aside
got
from
his
Switching.
Switcho working. Only played at the most special shows, right? Other than Switching, yeah. Then you get finally Turn Clouds. I don't know how many shows it was. It was an obnoxious amount. It's like 16 or something like that at this point. It's been
I thought
forever.
it was 11 or 12 or something.
14.
14. All right. So you get 14 shows. Finally, a Turn Clouds.
Damn right, 14. Thank you, Neil, for
Although
acknowledging
weird
the real
spot, like
show gap.
you're getting now this like very songy set where it makes it look on paper like not that hot of a set. right?
Hmm.
And I think I was like, what is going on with this set when I had not yet listened to the set, but I could see the set list. So you get Turn Clouds, and then you finish off a set one closer of Turbulence in the Night Mix.
I love the Turbulence closer. Personally, this is only the 5th time ever it has closed a set. And the first time it's closed a set since April. But this is a great set closer. We see it early first set, mid first set a lot of times, and it was really excellent to see it closing out the set the way it did. Just explosive. Rick really went for it on this version, and again, the energy in the room tonight was just absolutely incredible. There were so many people just so excited to be there, and I'll talk about it a little more when we get later into the show, specific examples. But this Turbulence was one of them where it was just the band was peaking, the crowd was peaking. It was excellent. And getting the Hojo here was pretty exciting. My first Hojo, a little bit of clav in there. Thought of Neil, as a Hojo enthusiast.
I am a Hojo enthusiast. I do
absolutely
like
second only to switching.
I just love NRBQ. Who
And
doesn't?
third only to Spoon. So
There you go.
Jive does not like NRBQ.
This has been a great tour. This has been a great tour for Neil's covers. We got Switchin', we got Hojo, and we got Spoon.
Yeah, I'm winning right now.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely winning.
Yep.
So time will tell what we'll see next. Really, the only thing left to complete the whole circle
The Neil Fecta.
is Goose covering
What's Up?
Scotty Doesn't Know.
Right.
Well, I mean, What's Up would be cool. Of course, I would love that. But
I think-
the Scotty
yeah, I
Doesn't
think-
Know cover is coming.
I think What's Up. I think What's Up's coming. I think we're gonna get a tour closer in London. We'll get a Peter Positivity rap.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Just thanking everybody and just how Europe is the truth. You know what I mean? So
What's
It's coming.
going on?
Yeah. Venues that won't let you
Eight-pointer.
play your full show are the truth.
Easiest
That's
8-pointer of the
what
tour.
we're in Europe.
All right, so you heard it here first. Jive will have What's Up as his 8-pointer for both nights of London, and we're going to hold him to that now because he said it on the pod.
Yeah, I haven't been hitting many 8-pointers anyway. So,
Listen,
Smoke it with
the
a shot.
8-pointer drought is happening right now.
But we're not here to talk about Fancy Goose, right?
Why? Because you're not in first right now?
I think actually this is the time that we should what are standings like? Let's take a little hiatus right now.
Well, we're at set break
before-
here. This
before we
is a
get
good point, Kev.
Yeah, I mean, where are we at?
So, huge shout out to Greg Moran, who's currently leading the pack. And I would just like to say, Jive Goose is not currently in the top 5.
Yeah. What am I,
None
number
of us
6?
are. We're all getting demolished. this
Well,
season.
hey, despite the fact that I egged in Brussels, I'm only 4 points behind Neil, which means it's only a matter of time before I pass him again.
Man, goose egg on your birthday.
Yeah, man.
know,
How
it
many
was-
songs did they play?
Where did you have Moby that night?
No way.
8 points.
0 places.
I actually slid Moby in, I think, as my 2-pointer that night.
Why?
Because you get like one shout out every 14 or 15 shows. And so what's the show gap on Ryan Storm shout outs? You know what I mean? It's getting up there. So I figured it was due. And I'm pretty sure you've told them you like Moby.
Ryan
No,
Molnar's
me
in the
never.
Ryan Molnar's in the chat handicapping songs.
Man. That's
Here we
amazing.
are. Here we are.
Oh boy.
Well, let's dive into set 2 here. Let's start off with this pancakes. This was a good. Haps is sitting over here. He's throwing his hands in the air. He's excited just because I said the word pancakes.
Good.
They cook
Good.
pancakes on stage tonight.
Good.
This was
I
amazing.
think he thinks that you're ordering pancakes.
That's also possible. That's also very, very possible.
I'm just excited about syrup, really.
There was extra syrup on the cakes tonight. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
They came out with it. I feel like this is the first pancakes we've seen opening a set in a while. It's closed the set a bunch of times, but I guess I'm looking at it and it just opened the second set in Spokane. But before that, last time it opened a set was last year. So only the second time this year that it's opened a set. And I feel like we've seen a ton of closers. So cool to see it in this slot, and cool to see them take it out there a little bit. You know, this was 22 minutes or so. You know, again, we've talked about a lot. We've seen a lot of shorter pancakes this year. This one was excellent. They took their time building the momentum with this one. You know, they kind of searched for a little while, and then Spuds just kicked into gear. You know, there were a couple of jams in this set where it was just very much led by Spuds, which is really cool to hear. You know, I talked about in my review of Brussels. There were a few moments during the show, especially during Redbird, where I felt as though Spuds stepped up and really took took charge of the jam, which you don't hear a ton. And it's really cool to hear him filling that leadership role a little bit more, which was awesome. But this Pancakes was awesome. Again, the energy in there during this jam was just going up and up and up as they just kept going and shredding. I mean, it was amazing.
Some people started bringing salt cakes into the conversation.
Yeah, that was a little hasty, I think. I mean, this is a fiery version towards the end, but it doesn't have the sustained fire of that version. I mean, there's like pretty subdued segment in the middle, but it does kind of stay in the Pancakes lane for the majority of the song. So I can see where those comparisons are coming from, but it's not. It's not as good, but it's really good. This is one of the best jams of Europe so far. I mean, if you're making
absolutely
top 10 list of Europe jams, this is on it, indisputably, I think. So very good jam. Not the jam of the show.
Is it behind Animal? I ask in earnest because
I would say yes.
Because I was not able to hear the Pancakes due to work obligations, which we already know that I never shirk. So I
good
was
on
asking
you, Kev.
I was asking in earnest if it is better than the Animal, was better than the Animal.
Can we get a hashtag Ernest Kev in the chat, please?
Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Ernest Kev. Yeah. Although it doesn't matter, this is a fiery version. You should listen to it.
Yeah. No, I will. Yeah.
This is like this is the top tier of Goose jams in Europe, where we're not getting many jams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the fault of the band. I think this is a good time to talk about this. The band is not allowed
hamstrung
venues to be playing the length of shows that we normally expect.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not their fault. This is not them like partying their asses off over in Europe, being like too hungover to like come on stage, or like they're taking really long set breaks. They get a very small window of time. And really the only thing you can blame here is
Vickers?
Discos. No,
you can blame Vickers.
Discos.
Yeah.
Too.
It's always appropriate.
Europeans love their discos, and they don't want to hear Goose. They want to hear, Ace of Base.
Disco.
Well, to be clear, it's always okay to blame Vickers.
It is always okay to blame.
We know
Vickers.
that.
It's not his fault. It's not the band's fault. This is just the hand they've been dealt.
Yep.
And this is
I
where
think
we're at.
I think the Pancakes probably isn't in my top 5 for Europe, but it's probably number 6. And I mean, I'm here to tell you, number 6 is a respectable place
on
to
the
be.
Jive Goose method. It's very respectable.
Yeah, number 6 in anything. You can hold your head high and be
Is
proud.
that your pickleball ranking right now?
It's his fantasy Goose ranking.
he's actually number 7. I would just like to point that out.
Oh man, Brian always has every number.
Yeah.
No, don't listen to him.
Yeah.
Now, I want to point out, it looks like the cactus is putting like rabbit ears up behind his head.
Yeah. It's a fine cactus guy there.
It is a very fine cactus.
Ryan's doing his birthday balloons again.
Yeah. I heard that's not the first time that he's done birthday balloons on this trip.
Heyo.
It absolutely is. Except for, I guess it's not, because the last time I was on this call, I did the same thing, and then we got the balloons going.
Yes.
But that's
also they don't have those in Europe in any.
No, they do not. There's been no nitrous.
No recreational nitrous in Europe.
So next up in this set, Kev, I want to throw it over to you here. We get No Rain into Bob Dawn. It's without, but this is our landing pad, Bob Dawn. Despite the fact that No Rain did not jam, which is very
landing
sad.
pad out of what?
Out of the Pancakes, really. The No Rain was just a stopping point on the way down. Gotcha. But when you have a mid-second set, Bob Dawn, it's a landing pad off of something.
Yeah.
Whether you jumped a foot in the air or you went to space and back, you're landing. and they landed in this Bob Don, and it was gritty, it was fierce, it was awesome. Rick shredded it, and I just love Peter's tone in this song during the solo when he's just playing those big thick chords. It was excellent. But Kev, you're our Robert Donald expert here.
The Robert Donaldson in-house aficionado.
Yes.
I would go back to something that Neil, a very astute observation. I don't want to blow up his ego,
Smart.
because he probably doesn't need that assistance. But an astute observation that he made the other night, that Goose is just shredding songs in Europe right now. And so again, that's a challenge for us in terms of talking about some of these jams. But if you're a fan and you're just going in and watching these shows, like you're getting a fucking rock concert at every one of these shows that you're going to, and I love it.
Killing it. Absolutely killing it. I do want to point out the subtle humor in here. We've talked about the Bob Don, right?
Yep.
I don't know if anybody.
Are you going to say the bad Don, Bob Don?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But we had
Bad
a
Bob
honeybee sans rain stick in the first set, and then we get a no rain in the second set.
Oh,
That
no rain
has to be
stick.
connected.
No rain stick. Ooh.
So Ryan, if you happen to run into Kevin, ask him about it.
Yeah, that's
deep.
Yeah.
I'm taking deep here. I mean, this is hardcore rock journalism.
Yeah.
As one would expect from this podcast.
No jams, so we have to talk about no rain stick.
Well, there was no pun on the set list, so.
Oh,
Neil Sullivan riddles.
Little humble brag over there by Ryan.
Yeah, it all means.
Where was
something.
on the set list that I was given?
Detective
You
Meal.
can't.
So
Bad
Kev,
Bob Don's
Kev
love.
threw out the bad,
Blah,
Kev
blah,
threw out
blah.
the bad Bob Don. Where was the bad Ivan?
Yeah.
We don't know.
I know that's a missed
MIA.
opportunity if I've ever seen
That seemed too easy.
one. Yeah.
And that's why they didn't do it.
Maybe it was too easy. Yeah.
It was too easy.
It was too easy.
They heard that you had already come up with a name for it,
Yeah.
and so they said that they couldn't.
Well,
where was the bad, not bad alone.
I was also thinking Madavan into U2's bad, back into Madavan. So Garrett mentioned this earlier, but yeah, Thatch. Speaking of the printed set list,
Is it you two
Thatch
from
Thatch got the
Chattanooga?
scratch.
They're from Chattanooga, right?
Thatch did get Chattanooga.
Scratch.
Yeah.
No, you're thinking of
David Gray.
David Gray. Sorry.
Bob Dylan. David Gray.
Robert Zimmerman. You're right.
How many people are from Chattanooga?
A lot.
I'm surprised we have so many people
Thousands,
watching this
I
podcast.
venture,
This
yeah.
is like the most off-topic pod.
Well,
we've
it's
ever
like
done.
You haven't been listening.
It's Berkeley's Chattanooga campus is where a lot of these guys
Yeah.
study music.
Bono was
Neil
born
Neil
in-
knows all about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The Berkeley satellite campus at Chattanooga.
it's true. I went to Northeastern. Northeastern also has a satellite campus next to the Chattanooga campus of Berkeley. Yeah, it's true. All of these things are true.
Life is circular.
Man.
And this is a
Right.
damn
Oh, we got people
everybody
in the chat.
who saw. So for those who can't read what's on the screen right now, Garrett is insisting that Haps is not a chomper.
Haps
if
is
you
not a
watched
chomper,
this
apparently.
He's not.
stream at all, Haps was talking.
He's a
to
stream
someone the whole
chopper. Yeah.
time.
He was caught. Some would say caught in 4K.
Was it
Quite
was it a female? Was it a female though?
No,
It
it was Chop.
Oh, there's no excuse for that.
Oh boy.
I wouldn't talk to Chop at set break.
Heyo.
Oh,
Just
I could've
kidding.
clipped that one.
He doesn't watch this.
No.
No, he doesn't.
He's my friend.
Yeah,
I'm
he's a
kidding.
good buddy. Yeah, he's a friend of the pod,
I've
even if
been
he doesn't
telling
know
I've
it.
been telling a lot of people who meet him to call him Chip, which
Yeah.
he loves.
Yeah, I bet he does.
Anyway, let's talk about this echo and this drip field
Echo.
here, because this echo is shorter. But my God, this is my favorite
need
jam.
the
of the night
lozenge
here.
again.
Yeah, are you gonna
I
die,
know.
Ryan?
My
Neil
voice is
can talk.
recovered.
Neil, take it
Neil
up. Neil,
Neil
take
can
it.
talk. Like
Neil
he can talk.
about the
Yeah.
Neil can talk about the echo.
Ryan,
Uh,
take
You
a
have your
second, sip
vocalist
of water.
running.
Yeah.
What?
Yell at Haps to get you a glass of water, buddy.
I got water here.
Or get
Well,
your
so the
Nicholas
problem,
Brooks-
so
Can I
normally
talk
when
about this
he's
echo?
when he's in the U.S. or Canada, before he goes to bed, he likes to have a little cup of warm kombucha,
Kombucha, yep.
and
He's out of routine.
he can't find it there.
Yep.
Do they just not have it anywhere?
Yeah.
I've had kombucha
Yeah.
while here, just for the record.
Okay, good.
I did not. Vickers is saying that I called this Echo of the Year. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I did no
He's
such
just trying to
thing.
get you to put that comment on screen.
What do you got, Haps? What's he eating?
Haps food report for the pod.
What's he eating? Yeah, what's he eating?
Cheese fries.
Oh, yeah.
Leftovers.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
it's a Scottish delicacy.
A Scottish
Yes.
delicacy it is.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can sit here and say
Yeah.
that one.
There we go.
Yeah.
So this
Good
Echo,
to see you.
this Echo,
Actually, Haps, come towards the camera more, and then Ryan, scoot.
Ryan, can you
get out of
give
the way a little
Haps
bit.
and give Haps your earbuds?
all right. So this Echo,
I would love to talk about this Echo.
I would
Yeah.
like to talk about.
If
I've been
Ryan
trying for a
can-
few
if-
minutes now.
So,
If Ryan can get it together.
This is so here's the deal.
This pod is sketch.
I'm gonna
comedy.
say two nice things and one semi-critical thing. So this Echo has a really, really awesome jam. They quickly go into space with it. I mean, they quickly just start going into some crazy sounds. Obviously big Seattle 2322 Echo vibes. Peter calling the cops.
That's Portland, just for the record.
Yeah, Portland. You're right.
Washington.
Peter calling the cops
Oregon.
got a little crazy. But because of the short sets that we're blaming Vickers for, I think they had one eye on the clock because they wanted to get this drip field in there, right? So the Echo had a ton of potential. It's still a really cool jam, man. Would love to have seen that maybe take 5 or 6 of those pancakes minutes and see where that Echo could have gone.
Or there's no rain minutes.
Yeah, or that. You're right. So anyway, super, super cool jam. It's brief, but it's definitely worth going back to. I mean, I'll definitely be going back to this because it's just such a really cool little jam. It's actually for as short as it was, I kind of thought maybe that was some of the coolest stuff I've heard on the tour. I think it's right up there in terms of if you're just looking at a couple minutes at a time. But I mean, Electric Avenue had a couple, really awesome minutes too. So I mean, there are moments.
Green
Where
River.
was you never thought you'd hear Drive Goose
Green
today?
River with a few amazing minutes.
I wasn't thinking about Green River myself, but
I was
I'll
going to
take
say
your word for it.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say
I
I wanted to lead off with this Echo saying I strapped in. When they started the jam, I was ready. The
Did you
straps
strap
were,
in? Okay, cool.
were on. I was strapped in, and I was
Safety
ready to
first,
go. And they went for it here. It was dark. It was amazing. And I know you guys said you couldn't hear Trevor super well on the webcast.
We did not.
Said they couldn't hear. I was singing at a normal volume, just for the record. Chop only complained once that I was singing too loudly.
Which is like
How
a
many-
miracle. Complaining
how
only
many-
once. I mean, that's on the low side.
Well, how many times did he think about it, though, do you think, Ryan?
Oh, probably many.
Yeah.
Almost
Before
as many times as he's thought about Mastodon. But
I think about Mastodon daily.
good. But this I can hear Garrett laughing from upstairs. So
All right.
this Echo that I've been trying to talk about for like 10 minutes now. You guys couldn't hear Trevor that well on the stream, you mentioned, but what he was doing during this jam was he was way at the forefront. When they hit those evil jams, you talked about that 2-3-22 motif, which is really led by Trevor. Similar kind of deal where he's hitting those low notes. Peter's hitting those eerie intervals on the piano, and just evil stuff for a little while. It's like we talk about. You get these big jams where you'll see like a minute or two of this like weird evil jamming, and they'll rip it back into the peak. This one we got 5-6 minutes of this stuff before they went back into the ending. So it was, this was definitely my highlight of the night. Can't tell if Haps is agreeing or not.
Oh, he is,
But
man. You
he's
got a
nodding
live,
his head.
live
he's in-
studio audience.
He's in full agreement.
Yeah, he is.
100%.
Who else has?
And Haps is in the picture. We should comment real quick. It was earlier in the chat, but
Oh, he's
somebody
gone
had
now.
mentioned us. Yeah, because we're going to talk about his hair just briefly.
Oh yeah,
and
no hat
hatless,
Haps.
hatless Haps,
Yeah.
and just what a gorgeous mane of hair that man has.
Would
There
you
he
care to
is.
comment on?
Oh,
on hatless
good.
Haps?
Look at that head of hair.
People say I look good without it. So
Look
I'm
at
going
that head of
without it.
hair. Yeah,
That's
look at that head of hair.
simple. I'm going without it. Someone came the other day, like, I didn't even know that was underneath that hat. I was like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
Yep.
going no hat.
Luscious.
Let the world see,
Luscious.
man. Not just America. Let
Yeah, you
Europe
can't
see it
hide
too.
that.
Yeah.
You can't hide that. There's a lot of men your age who
Our
have to
age,
wear a hat every day.
your age.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they have no choice.
Yeah.
Well,
Fair.
and B says
You
that
have a
as a guy with
choice.
a full head
Yeah.
of hair.
Yeah.
Listen, B was hiding that jawline from us for months, and now that we can see it, like, look at that thing. Like, it's
Europe seems to like it.
Yep.
there
I'm
we
out.
go.
Love you, Haps.
So, anyone have
Yeah.
any more
But
thoughts on this
just
Echo
for a
here?
moment, I mean, like this Echo Jam is really good, and you've already kind of said it here, but to me, this is my favorite kind of Goose jamming. I was saying this while we were listening to it. It is spooky, it is sparse, and it is unpredictable, I guess. That's like not really a good word to describe it, but like how sparse it is, where like notes are coming in, there's space in between notes, and they're finding all of the right spots when they're doing it. It is excellent jamming, and you hear this every so often. Like you think about the Boston Redbird. I bring this up all the time. I'm doing the greatest hits right now, Kev. Or you think about the Ryman Rosewood. Like those.
What are any of these jams outrageous, Neil?
They are.
Ryman
He's
Rosewood.
trying. Yeah, and I mean he's trying to draw a parallel. So please let the man let Neil cook.
It is like their best style of jamming. It's the style of jamming that we absolutely loved in early 2022.
Mhm.
Here it is again, just like Jive pointed out. It's just like the
Totally, Neil. Right?
Echo.
You agree with this?
No, but don't give Vickers screen time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Talk
He's
about
just trying to
egos.
get your attention. In
Yeah.
any case, this is the good stuff. There wasn't nearly enough of it. I agree with Jive, but time is time, and the band is not given time to really flesh out jams on this tour, and that's just something we're all going to have to deal with.
Hey, man, I just want to comment on that real quick too. Like on a serious note, like certainly, like from the tenor of our pods the last few days, we had expectations in terms of how we thought these shows were going to go. And we're sort of reacting to that, right? And maybe we should back off those expectations a little bit and let the band organically do what they do in the circumstances that they are.
Let them cook.
And I don't,
Did you say?
let Goose cook. But I don't know if I'm, obviously, like you guys are mature adults, but maybe I'm just saying that out loud because I need to, adjust my own expectations. That's why I'm saying
it.
Let's not entertain that. In
Give
any
it
way.
to me,
Yeah.
Neil. Should be a new segment.
They're
Yeah.
animals, and they need to be
Yeah.
encouraged.
Yeah.
I think it's funny.
That's it.
I think
Well, we
so.
haven't talked about
All I'll say about that is
Here we go.
I think that when we were talking about like the short sets and things like that, I think those are also, there were some shows there with little jams. You know what I mean? But then you get a big jam like Animal. That show wasn't any longer. You know what I
It's
mean?
shorter.
Yeah. So I don't think I think some of that criticism at times is misplaced or misinterpreted. But I mean, yeah, the point remains. It's like, they're operating within the confines of, what they've been given. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, they're going to do what they do. And, frankly, they're not doing anything really that incredibly different than they normally do.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? This is what Goose does. You know what I mean? They're not always going to jam. You know what I mean? And that's okay. So, and you go to Europe for the first time, feeling everything out, feeling these, new venues out and new people, and everybody has different ideas on how they want to, kind of put themselves out there, their product or their art or whatever, you know what I mean? So, yeah, look, I don't think it's ever meant to come across as anybody being harsh or anything. I think sometimes you're just asking questions. You know what I mean? Like, why did you start so early tonight? And then I missed the beginning of Jive 1. I think that's a fair question. You know what I mean? not trying to call anybody out. I'm just
Today's
you know.
Jive sermon is brought to you by the Salida pickleball courts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they got Jeff in. They wrangled in Jeff early. Maybe he was particularly subdued today, and they just
Debatable.
brought him in. And, they're like, all right, we're
Debatable.
starting the show. Well, good for them. They got a few extra minutes out of the show.
Yeah, and
My
I mean
point is,
this
though,
drip.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
This
Katie,
drip.
Katie, that's a cactus. It's not a Peloton.
He doesn't Peloton, man. He
Yeah.
pickleballs. We
He
know this.
pickleballs, yeah.
So this drip, I mean, I don't know if I've ever experienced a crowd reaction to a drip field like this one before. It was amazing. People were going absolutely berserk. I think, after the why you got to be such a soldier all the time line, when it drops back into the song, I think that's the closest I've seen to a mosh pit at a Goose show. Which was pretty cool. Like, again, the energy in there tonight was just amazing. People were so excited about this drip field, and the band was feeding off of it. They just kept peaking it and peaking it. Rick was going crazy. This was an exceptional drip field as far as, type 1 excellent drip field goes. This was an amazing closer. High octane, absolutely.
Hot, some might say.
Yeah, almost uncharacteristic, really. I mean, it was just straight. It was just a straight hot fire jam. You know what I mean? Just went after it. Yeah. I mean, in that sense, it was really. We were talking earlier about how there was a lot of really good jams at this show. You know what I mean? This is one of them.
Yeah.
So I think between the Jive lead, the Pancakes, the Echo, and this drip field, there's a lot of weight there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely one of the best shows of the Europe run. We've seen a lot of high energy shows lighter on the jamming. And tonight was a high energy show with lots of jamming, and so that was awesome to get. And I hope as that we continue through the UK, the rest of this week and this weekend, I hope we see more shows like this. Continuing with even more jamming, and still holding the crowd's attention, which would be amazing.
Well, and it was funny because I was starting to look at tonight as, when are we going to start seeing like the band setting up some songs to get 2 more plays?
Right. Well, I figured we would have had Thatch.
That's why the Thatch was big
nights
on my list tonight. You know what I mean? Because I really, and obviously that there was some intent to play it. But yeah, so it'll be interesting because, I feel like now, that clock might start to be might start to tick away. You know what I mean? Or whatever I'm trying to say. So you might not have, how much more opportunity do you have to get 2 plays in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to get 2 more Thatches, right?
Probably.
Well, that's why I thought they were going to play it tonight. I thought for sure they were going to play Thatch tonight, no matter what, because they could get another one in after. Although they're not afraid to 2-show gap that, so they can still
or even 3-show gap that.
Yeah. So, Ryan,
any more thoughts on the show before we wrap up the pod here?
So when you get to Manchester,
yep,
I want you to get as many tickets as you can get your hands on to Miracle People, and what you should say to those people is, Liverpool is my favorite club, and just give them the ticket and see what they say. Yeah.
I'm going to assume that will get me beat up.
Yeah, probably stat.
Based on knowing nothing about sports. So I'm good. But I would just like to say that it's been a pleasure being on the pod. We'll be here again tomorrow. Everyone except for Neil. He's going to see another band.
Go to see Eggy.
Something.
I will try to like come on the pod before Eggy.
Yeah.
So
and just one more request for
awesome.
Manchester. If you see a Holland jersey, for cheap, text me.
Get one. All right. I'll keep that in mind. I was in Holland last week.
This is different.
Oh.
It's we'll talk offline. It's
okay.
sports. Sorry, it's sports. Well,
all right. I don't know how sports work.
A very succinct 49-minute evening after show pod tonight. I love this.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's been
I
lovely.
say we keep going for a while.
Let's keep going. It almost feels like like an 8-show or a 9-show like single leg recap.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm
Kev,
vibing
sometimes
right
we
now.
spend this amount this on the tour recaps. We spend this amount of time on one show.
Yeah.
So,
It's a good argument to keep going, Ryan.
yeah.
So-
Well, anyway,
Not costing us anything. You know what I mean?
anyway, this has been an excellent evening after show episode. Thank you everybody for tuning in and joining us. We will be back tomorrow, our first 2 nights in a row of the pod this tour, because we didn't have one after Paris. The last time there were 2 shows in a row.
No Borfs.
So we'll be back tomorrow. No Borfs yet, but hopefully, we'll have them up soon. And we'll be back here tomorrow at 8:00.
Take care
My
of that
apologies.
voice, baby. Yeah,
I
take
know.
care of that
At
voice.
8:00
Get some-
p.m.
yeah.
Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 8:00 p.m. Eastern.
Ryan needs to get on his. He needs to
in
get on his
Manchester.
propolis. He needs a
I'm
hot
just gonna.
tea.
I'm just gonna keep talking
Yeah,
here.
He needs a hot
and
tea in his
eventually I'm gonna
hot
hit the
tea in his
button.
bedroom.
Gotta go. Spritzing the pro.
Yeah,
There we
spritz
go.
the pro
All
pro,
right.
bro.
Well,
Spritz the pro, bro.
oi. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks everybody for tuning into this episode of Evening After Show. Have a great rest of your night. And
So
a
real
great
quick,
day
guys,
tomorrow.
I just wanted to say,
Yeah.
And we'll see
Time
you
zone
tomorrow.
check. Is tomorrow the
Everybody
same time
have
zone?
A great. Yes, it is. We're in the
Okay.
UK. It's one time zone. GMT.
Potent fruiting bodies.
Thank you, Kev. All right, everybody, have a great night.